Hi guys, hello and welcome to another C# tutorial. In this tutorial, I will be teaching you how to display certain shapes using the nested loops. Right now, as you can see, I have already set up the nested loop, and as per our last example, you should already know what is a nested loop and how it looks like. But just so that you are here for the first time, we have two layers of loops, the outer loop and the inner loop. The outer loop runs 10 times 1 through 10, and the inner loop also runs for 10 times 1 through 10. And as I told you in the past, the working of the nested loop is very much like your analog clock, that the inner cycles are like your second hand or minute hand, and the outer cycle are like your minute or hour hand. For example, if the inner cycle is a second hand, then the outer cycle is a minute hand. Or if the inner cycle is a minute hand, the outer cycle is like an hour hand. What does that mean? That means the inner cycle has to complete all its cycles for an outer cycle to be displaced by 1. That's exactly how the loops work. That's exactly how the inner loops in particular work. And all loops do not have to be of the same type either. They can be different types as well. However, over here, I have both loops as my for loop. Now, in my case, I have my outer loop to run for 10 times and inner loop to run for 10 times. What does that mean? Between the two, they will run for 100 times, 10 times 10. For each iteration of the outer loop, the inner loop will going to run for 10 times. After inner loop completes 10 cycles, the outer loop will going to be displaced by 1 and will go to the next number. So now let's say if I put an asterisk here right within the double quotes. As you already know what right line does, it creates a new line. Okay, now what does that mean? I have a right line of asterisk and I have a right line of blank. Now this right line of blank is outside the inner loop. The reason is because if there's only one line and there are no curly braces, then only one line is associated with the loop. In order for you to make sure, well, to be on the safe side, just for your readability, I will going to put the curly braces. However, putting curly braces is not a requirement. Okay, so now when I run this program the way it is right now, what it will going to do is it will going to give me lots and lots of lines of code, and you will see that it'll going to give you 100 lines of asterisk. And the reason it does that and why it does it, because we have right line on every asterisk. So every asterisk comes on a new line. Well, a quick change and you will see a drastic difference in the output. If I put all the asterisks that come in the inner loop on one line, okay, and then once all the 10 asterisks are printed, only then I change it to a new line, then you will see a very different output, and it looks like this, where we have 10 asterisks per line. And then when 10 asterisks are printed, only then a new line comes into place. And that new line comes into place because of line number 21. So inner loop prints 10 asterisks, doesn't put them on a new line. As soon as the inner loop ends, a new line is produced. And then we go back and then we print the next 10 asterisks. Even if I drop the double quotes are not required. Even if I drop the double quotes, we're going to work exactly the same way. No difference in the output. Okay, so that's how you can be easily producing a shape like this, which is a rectangle. Now comes a question: if I want to create a shape of a hollow rectangle, okay, now let's say if I want to produce a hollow rectangle of 10 rows, okay, so that means my first row and last row are not in a loop because they look different than the rest. So what I can do is, let's say I run a loop here, right line, and in that, I write a statement in which, let's say if I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 asterisk, then my ending one will also be outside of my nested loop, which will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 asterisk. Okay, now every line in the loop, what do I have to do? I have to put one asterisk at the beginning of the line and one asterisk as a close of the line. And how many spaces do I need in between? Well, I need let me put 5 stars just so that it is slightly bigger rectangle. Okay, so I need 3 spaces for those 3 asterisks. So the first line will have 5 asterisks, the last line will have 5 asterisks. Each of the intermediate lines or middle lines will start with an asterisk, end with an asterisk, and in between we'll have 3 spaces. If I want my rectangle to be 10 lines, then I already have the first and the last line, so I will run my outer loop to only 8. And what we're going to do here, I will going to put 3 spaces right in the middle. So let me run this for you just so that you can see how it looks like. And here is the output. As you can see, there is 1 line here, 1 line here, and all the middle lines start with an asterisk, which is line 17, and with an asterisk, line 22, and has 3 spaces in the middle. Now, I can certainly increase the number of spaces or the number of asterisks on the first and the last row, and the whole program logic could be fixed. Or I could accept the character from user and then print those many asterisks. The program is very, very customizable to your needs. Now, let me get rid of this program, and we're going to do a different program. Usually in computer science, you generally get an assignment where they ask you that using nested loops, produce a right triangle, and that's exactly what we're going to be looking at. Now, remember my previous example where I was creating a rectangle. So let's say if I still create a rectangle, and then we will going to change that rectangle into a right triangle. Okay, so let's say if I have an 8 by 8 rectangle, let me create that for you so that you can see that the rectangle is created. Here we have our rectangle. Okay, so when we create our right triangle, what do I have to do? I have to go like this, diagonally down, diagonally cut the rectangle in half, and do not display one half, I'll only display the other half. How do we do that? Well, the trick is very simple. Notice, on first row you print 1 asterisk. Second row you print 2 asterisks. The third row you print 3 asterisks. And you come down like that. The 8th row you print 8 asterisks. So if you notice, the number of asterisks that you print equals the number of the row number. I mean, whatever is the row number is how many asterisks you got to print. Now comes the question, which variable is controlling the row? The answer is this one. Which variable is controlling the asterisk is this one. So if I, instead of locking this to 8, if I say you lock yourself to the row variable because you want to run as many times as the current row number, you want to run as many times as the current row number. So if it's the first row, you run once and you put 1 asterisk. If it's row number 2, you run twice, and so forth. Isn't it easy, guys? Amazing. It's easy stuff. Okay, now let's see if I want to come down and complete the other half of the diamond. How will I going to do that? Now I will going to need another nested loop here. Okay. However, in this nested loop, I'm going to start with 1 less number of asterisks, because remember, now I have to come downward 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? And I have to run a backwards loop, and I has to be greater than equals to 1. I minus. So I'm coming down 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And every time I'm in a loop, the inner loop doesn't change. The inner loop still goes as many times as the current value of I. That's it. All you now do is when you run this program, you get this nice half diamond. See, it's not that big of a deal. It's all about logic. Once you understand how loops work, the whole purpose of these exercises is so that you can see how loops work. What is the thought process of a loop? And now I hope this is very clear to you how these outputs are produced in loops. If you have any questions, let me know. And again, if you have a request for a certain tutorial, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to make that tutorial for you. And also, there are other related problems to these kind. For example, sometimes you have been asked to make right-aligned right triangle. I made a left-aligned right triangle. So now you control with spacing. Give it a shot. If you have such an assignment, give it a shot. Use this as a basis, and now control the spacings. And let me know if you have any questions. I do have a similar tutorial for right triangle, but that's for C++ students. But anyway, if you want to visit that tutorial and have a look at it, it's very similar to C#. What you could do in C#, you could do in Java as well. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Till then, take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.